Okay, Google. Turn on the lights.
Okay, turning on 9 lights.
Man, when I was a little kid, I really wanted some lights that I could turn on and off without having to get up off the bed. Now with the Philips Hue, I can do that. I mean, I was terrified of the dark when I was little. That doesn't happen anymore. Anyway, enough wasting time. Let's get out of bed, see what the Philips Hue has to offer. Come on. Goodness. Sometimes lights are way too bright. Hey Google, can you turn the lights down to 50%?
You got it. Setting 9 lights brightness to 50%.
That's still a little annoying. Hey Google, can you turn the lights to teal?
Okay, changing 3 lights to teal.
That's better. Well, I have 2 different types of bulbs. I have the regular white bulb and the color bulb. The difference is that this one can change colors and this one can't. But, I mean, the reality is if you want just something that turns on and off, this is a great buy. It's actually much cheaper. This one's expensive, and the biggest difference is that it changes colors. So if you don't need something to change colors, you don't need this. You can just go with this and save a little money. So with this one, you can do stuff like, hey Google, turn the light to 20%.
Okay, setting 9 lights brightness to 20%.
Changes the brightness. Or you could do something like, hey Google, change the lights to blue.
Okay, changing 3
That one will
lights to
change.
blue.
You see, this one doesn't. But like I said, if you just need a light that turns on and off, this is a great buy. Because this, as awesome as it is, it's a little pricey. It is a little pricey, but it's awesome, so I had to get one. Yeah. If you don't have a smart home device like a Google Home speaker like this one, you don't need it. I mean, you can just use your phone. Let's talk about what I don't like. One of the things I don't like is the fact that buying the bulbs is not the only thing that you need to do. You also need to buy a hub. And I know what you're saying, what the heck is a hub? Well, a hub is what connects to your router and allows these wonderful things to work properly. Without that hub, you just got regular light bulbs. You can flick them on and off, but you won't have the connectivity. So you need to spend another extra couple bucks. Unless like me, you bought it with a bundle. I bought the original white bulbs, came in a package, which came with 4 and the little hub, which is awesome, but it would be more awesome if you didn't need it, honestly. Because these days, I have so many things plugged into my wall that I just don't want one other thing into my wall. But it's small. Let's go take a look at it. So this is the hub. The hub isn't really much. On the hub, you're gonna find a big button with a few LED lights. This button is actually what you need to press when you want to sync up the new lights. So when you go onto the application, it's gonna ask you, do you have any new lights? And if you do, you press the button and it syncs up to the new lights. As far as connections, on the back, you have the power cable and you have the LAN cable. The LAN cable is actually what connects to your router, and this is actually how these lights work. They work through Wi-Fi. So if you don't have your Wi-Fi turned on, they're not gonna work. If your router is down, the lights don't work. Well, they work just off the switch. One of the benefits of using Wi-Fi though is that it allows you to access them when you're not at home. So if you're running late and you accidentally run out of the house and you forget to turn off all your lights, you can still pull up the application and voila, your lights are turned off. Cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at the application here. I'm gonna look for it here. It's called the Hue app. It's gonna open up right here. So as you can see, when you first open it, it's gonna list all your lights that you have. I currently have a few different places that I have lights, so the application actually lets you separate by room. So if we go ahead and click into one of the rooms, let's click into the living room, you're gonna see that I have two on the living room. So this one is actually this light right here. So let's go ahead and mess around with it so you can see it turn on and off. So as you saw, the colors were changing, and then you can do stuff like this where you change the colors. It's pretty awesome. All right. So another thing, on the very top right, we have a little switch that if you go ahead and press it, it turns off your lights, and so that turns them all off or all on. If you look in the individual rooms, each section has its own on and off switch. So if you just want to turn off the living room, as you saw, the light just turned off, and then when I turn it on, it turned on. So this allows you to switch on and off your lights in a few different ways. And it makes it very convenient because you can turn them on and off in groups so that you don't have to be switching every single light individually. That actually even works with your smart speaker. So when I say, okay Google, turn off the living room, I'm using the living room because this is actually the living room light. So, and then so I could say, okay Google, turn on the living room. And it go ahead and it comes back on. This application has a few different sections that we could look into. For example, this section gives a few different ways to set up your lights, so you can do self timers. For example, I have my lights that in the morning when it's about 7 o'clock, the lights start slowly turning on so that you can slowly start waking up with the lights. And then you go into the wake up settings, and as you can see, I have my wake up timers. Let's go back, and there's a few ways that you can do that, including routines, or you can add routines. If you're interested, go ahead and put a comment down below, and I'll go further into some of these applications. But you can also use third-party applications to do some of these things, because I feel like the Philips Hue, though it's a good application, it's a little bit limited on its functionality. So if you're interested in that, just go ahead and leave a comment down below. If there's enough interest, I'll make a video kind of going deeper into some of these different applications and how you can use them. If you go into the next section, which is called Explore, they go ahead and give you a few different third-party applications that you can use. For example, they have a section called Apps We Like, and if we load it here, when it loads up, you'll see that there's a list of different applications that you can go ahead and purchase from your application store, whether it be the App Store from iOS or the Play Store from Android. But before we get out of the application, I want to show you one of my favorite parts about it. This you can only get if you have the Philips Hue color bulbs. So if you have this color bulb, or if you have some of the strips, which are also colored, you can have something called scenes. So we're gonna go ahead and go into the living room, because that's the one that I have right here. And we're gonna go ahead and on the very top right, you're gonna see scenes. Here, you're gonna have a selection of pre-made scenes that you can choose from. But if you notice on the bottom right, there's a little plus sign. If you click that, you're gonna get current light settings and picture scene. We're gonna wanna choose picture scene. See, now we get a list of pictures, and it's not just the pictures that they provide, but they also let you get into your camera roll. So I took a picture of a photograph that I printed recently, and let's take a look at it. It's a picture of my Buddha. And as you noticed, as soon as I changed into the picture, the light changed as well. So right now, it's picking up some of the oranges from the ground on the picture. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom into an area with some blues so that you can see that it'll change into blue. So as you see, there's a blue. Now let's zoom out and go right into the reds of the Buddha. Once you have the color that you feel that you want, so let me just get a green here. And I like that green. It's nice and soft. You can hit save and you can name your scene. So we'll call it green light. And there you go. Now you have a setting that when you click on it, it goes to the green light. If you want to increase or decrease the intensity of it, you can go ahead and click on the circle here. And as you can see, it starts to increase and decrease the intensity of the light. But yeah, that was my review on the Philips Hue lights. If you have any further questions, whether it be about the lights or the hub or whatever, go ahead and leave in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you didn't enjoy the video, go ahead and give it a dislike. That helps out too, because it lets me know if I'm doing good or not. Let me know what's on your brain down in the comment section down below about anything else. If you're enjoying the content and you want to see more content, I actually made a review of the JBL speaker. I'm gonna put a link somewhere on the screen so you can go ahead and click on it. But anyway, that's what was on my brain. I'm gonna go back to bed because if you didn't notice, it's actually night. I woke up from a nap and it's like midnight, so I gotta go back to bed. Okay, Google. Sexy time.
Okay, your Google Play Music playlist called Sexy Time. Here you go. Okay, changing the bed to pink.